2 girlfriends. 1 clue. 0 chances left. It started as a joke. Literally, a dumb, offhand joke. What you doing? Trying to figure out what intense passion feels like? Might need to phone a friend for that one, I said, dropping my keys on the counter like I hadn't just thrown a grenade into my own relationship. My boyfriend, Daniel, was hunched over his phone at the kitchen table, sipping the last of his iced coffee like it had personally offended him. He looked up slow. Too slow. Like he had to reset his face before speaking. What? I shrugged, still in my work clothes, tired and cranky from back-to-back meetings. The mini. New York Times crossword. You're always bragging about finishing in under a minute, and now you're stuck on intense passion? Come on, babe. The answer's clearly not our sex life. Daniel didn't laugh, didn't even smirk, just pressed his lips into a line and turned his phone screen slightly away from me. That's when I knew something was off. Not in the he's cheating way. At least not yet. It was more like that sixth sense you get when you walk into a room and know someone's been talking about you. A gut punch wrapped in nothing invisible, but loud. He stood up a beat too fast, stretched, and muttered, just tired. Long day. Then he kissed my cheek like he was punching a time card. I should have let it go. I didn't. Later that night, while he was in the shower, I picked up his phone, not to snoop, just to check the crossword, see what word had frozen him mid-thought like a deer in emotional headlights. The puzzle was still open. Clue. Intense passion. Answer. Ardor. Except it wasn't the clue that got me. It was the text thread just above it. A name I didn't recognize. M. No emoji. Just M. And a screenshot of the same crossword. Sent 3 hours before I got home. With a message. Tell me this isn't Soa's hot face. I stared at the screen. My brain short-circuited somewhere between us and the sweat emoji. I didn't confront him that night. I didn't cry. I just closed the app, put the phone back, and smiled when he crawled into bed next to me like nothing was wrong. Because now it was a game. If intense passion was so them, I wanted to see how deep the rabbit hole went. I wasn't going to throw down over a crossword and some emoji flirting. No, if Daniel was lying, I wanted to catch him in a way he couldn't talk himself out of. So I made a fake Instagram. Bookish girl vibes. Glasses, lattes, underlined poetry. I followed him. Her profile was public, all sunset selfies and quotes from Rupee Core. Disgustingly wholesome. 2 days later, she followed back. I messaged her something harmless. Hey, just saw your NYT mini post, fellow crossword addict here, see no evil monkey. She replied in under 10 minutes. OMG hi, right? That one with ardor was so flirty, lol. My guy sent it to me too. We have this inside joke about it now, grinning face with sweat. My stomach did a backflip. My guy. So she thought Daniel was hers. I could have stopped. Should have stopped. But I was already typing. That's so cute. Is he into wordplay too? Totally. He's, like, obsessed with finishing the mini in record time. He's a numbers guy, works in finance. Haha. Always calling me his passion project, skull. Finance. The mini. Passion project. Jesus Christ, Daniel. That night, I lay next to him in bed, watching his chest rise and fall like he was the picture of peace. Meanwhile, my brain was mapping timelines and cross-referencing alibis like a psycho Sherlock Holmes. He stirred in his sleep and mumbled something. I didn't catch it all, but one word slipped out loud enough. M. I blinked up at the ceiling, teeth clenched so tight my jaw ached. You picked a word from a crossword clue to be your emotional affair mascot? Ardor? That's not even sexy. That's SAT prep level sleaze. And you're whispering her name in your sleep? Fine. If Daniel wanted ardor, he was about to get burned. The next morning, I circled the word ardor in red Sharpie on our fridge crossword calendar and wrote beneath it. Word of the day, deception. Then I texted him again. Hey, want to swap crossword stories sometime? I think we might be solving the same puzzle, just on different days. The hardest part was pretending I didn't know. I sat across from Daniel the next evening while he spooned takeout pad thai into his mouth like a man not living on borrowed time. He was scrolling TikTok, half laughing at something about dads in cargo shorts, completely oblivious to the fact that I had already met his side girl 3 times. Hey, I said casually, was ardor yesterday's clue or today's? He glanced up, eyes narrowing slightly. Yesterday. Why? I shrugged. Just saw a meme about it. Thought maybe we'd both seen it. Lie. I'd made the meme myself and sent it to him from my fake account. It was a screenshot of the crossword clue with the caption, If he's not texting you this, is he even your arter? She'd reposted it to her story. She even tagged her guy, not by name, of course, but she added a heart and said, "He gets me kiss mark." I took a screenshot and saved it to a folder I had renamed Receipts. By Friday, we were talking daily. Em thought she had found a new online friend, another woman whose boyfriend was a little intense, but in a hot way. She told me about how her guy liked things just so. His gym schedule, his playlists, the fact that he always started his morning with the mini and black coffee like clockwork. She even sent me a selfie of the two of them at a bar from last week. Daniel had his arms slung around her shoulders, wearing the same navy hoodie he told me he'd lost at work. I wanted to throw my phone across the room. Instead, I sent a double heart react and wrote, "You guys are so cute," loudly crying face. He looks just like someone I know. Not a single ounce of suspicion. Until I asked for his name. Haha, I call him D. He's kinda private about socials, so I haven't tagged him yet. Oh, private, huh? So I made a new plan. Operation Crosswords and Chaos. Step 1. I invited Daniel to brunch with my friends that Sunday. He said he couldn't, had to help his sister move. Funny how he'd used that exact excuse 2 weeks ago. Step 2. I casually mentioned to him that I'd be in her area that weekend, because of course I'd found her location tagged on one of her sunset yoga pics, and asked if she wanted to meet up. Just two puzzle queens grabbing coffee, I said. She was thrilled. Let's go to Archer and Bloom. I love that place. And if we run into D, well, fate, right? Face-blowing kiss. I stared at the screen, heart pounding like I'd downed 3 espressos. Fate. She had no idea how accurate that word was. Sunday came. I wore Daniel's favorite shirt, the one he always said made me look too good to be mad at. I wanted him to see me when it all went down. I wanted her to see me and remember this outfit every time she opened her mini app. I got there early. Chose a table right by the window. And then I saw him. Not with him. Alone. Daniel. Walking down the street like this was any other morning. Hoodie, coffee, earbuds in. Strolling like a man with no enemies. Until he looked up and saw me. His face froze. He took one more step, stopped, and then I watched the color drain from his face completely. Because right behind him, Em appeared. She spotted me first. She waved, all smiles, jogging up in cute sneakers and a messy bun. Hey. Daniel looked between us. Between me and her. He opened his mouth, but no sound came out. Daniel, I said, standing slowly. This your little passion project? Em blinked. Her smile cracked. Wait. I'm the girlfriend, I said, stepping closer. The real one. She turned to Daniel. Tell me she's lying. He didn't answer. He couldn't. His mouth just opened and closed like a fish caught mid-breath. I pulled my phone out and opened the folder labeled Receipts. Started scrolling. Want to see the crossword clue that blew up your side piece's fantasy? Daniel finally spoke. Jesus, what the hell is this? You're stalking me now? I laughed. Cold. Loud. People were starting to stare. No, Daniel. I was solving a puzzle. And you? You were the answer. Cliffhanger ending. Em stepped back. Her voice was suddenly quiet, but sharp as a nail. You told me you were divorced. Daniel flinched. I didn't even blink. Oh, honey, I said, looking her dead in the eye. He told me you were imaginary. I didn't plan on teaming up with him. But life has a funny way of forcing you into alliances you never imagined, especially when the alternative is letting a man like Daniel walk away unscathed. After the Archer and Bloom ambush, Em stormed off in tears. I figured I'd never hear from her again. But about an hour later, my burner account buzzed with a message. I don't know what to say. I feel like such an idiot. I hesitated. It would have been easy to dunk on her, rub it in, get righteous. But the truth is, she was me, just on a different timeline. You weren't the idiot. He was the liar. We met up that evening. No fake names. No lattes. Just two women sitting on a park bench passing a phone back and forth, reading messages that now felt like splinters. Look at this one, Em said, scrolling to a screenshot from just 3 days ago. I'm obsessed with how your mind works. You're the only person who gets me. She looked up at me, deadpan. You ever get told that? I held up my phone with a nearly identical text. Last Thursday, after I beat his mini time by 12 seconds. We both stared at our screens for a second. Then we burst out laughing. Not the happy kind, the kind that comes from watching something beautiful turn to ash and realizing you're the only one who brought a bucket of water. So, what now? She asked. Now. Now is my favorite part. We give him exactly what he wants, I said. An intense passion. A drama so hot it leaves a scar. Step 1. The puzzle drop. We each sent Daniel the same photo at the same time, a crossword clue taped to a bathroom mirror. Clue. 4-letter word for what you just lost. Answer. US. His responses were instant. To me. Babe, WTF is going on? I made a mistake, but can we just talk? To him. Don't believe anything she says. She's got it all twisted. I was going to break up with her. Classic. Step 2. The exposure grid. We compiled everything. Screenshots. Voice notes. Selfies he took in her bed. A Venmo payment labeled morning after bagel face blowing kiss. I dumped it all into a shared Google Drive folder called Arter Files. We didn't send it to him. We sent it to his boss. See, Daniel had this rule. Never mix personal and professional. Except he used his work email to send him NYT subscriptions with the note. Can't wait to do these in bed with you every morning. Oops. Turns out his boss doesn't love hearing that one of their senior analysts is treating company perks like his own little pleasure packages. Step 3. Let the circle close. I printed out a custom crossword. Hand-designed. Every clue was a reference to one of his lies. Clue 5 down. What you called her when you were with me. 5 letters. Answer. Angel. Clue 11 across. What you lost trying to play 2 games at once. 8 letters. Answer. Everything. I had it framed. Left it at his apartment door, propped up with a little bow. M added a sticky note. Word of the day. Accountability. The next day, Daniel tried to go nuclear. He texted me 16 times. Called twice. Emailed once. The subject line? Closure. The body? A full manifesto about how he was struggling emotionally, how he acted out of fear, how I was so cold lately, and M was a reflection of what I used to get from you. I almost threw my laptop across the room. Instead, I forwarded the email to M. She replied. Copy-pasted 80% of that to me too. He even reused the phrase emotional chaos vortex, skull. So now we had a new game. We started reading his texts aloud to each other, scoring them like gymnastics judges. I never meant to hurt you. That's a 5.8, I said. Weak execution. No remorse. I give it a 4.7. You and I were supposed to be in-game. That's a 7 for melodrama. Bonus point for the Marvel reference. We weren't crying anymore. We were laughing. And it was louder than his lies. A week later, M sent me a photo. It was Daniel, on a dating app. His bio? Passionate guy looking for something real. No drama, please. I stared at it. Then I messaged her back one word. Checkmate. He asked me to meet him just once. Said he didn't want to text anymore. Wanted to talk like adults, like we ever did. Like he didn't lie with the same mouth he was now offering closure. Normally, I would have blocked and moved on. But there was something raw and ugly in the way he begged that made me curious. Desperate people have a way of showing you who they really are when they think they're out of time. So I agreed. We met at the same cafe where M and I had cornered him, Archer, and Bloom. His idea, not mine. I think he thought it would somehow reset the board. I wore black. All black. Not for drama, it was just laundry day. But when he saw me, he winced like I was in mourning for him. Good. Hey, he said, sliding into the booth like we were old coworkers catching up after a long week. You look good. I raised an eyebrow. You look like someone who's lost access to company email. He laughed a little, nervously. Yeah, that happened. I just sipped my coffee. Waited. Listen, he started, leaning forward. I know I fucked up. I do. And I don't expect you to forgive me. But I need you to understand, it wasn't like I planned it, L. Oh, that's rich, I cut in. You didn't plan it, but you managed to sync up 2 lives, 2 stories, and even 2 crossword scores. You were running a full-ass emotional Ponzi scheme. He rubbed his face. It wasn't like that. M was just, I don't know, a distraction. You and I, we got so routine. There it was. The excuse to end all excuses. You weren't exciting anymore. And instead of talking to me, you opted for emojis and secrets? Got it. He looked up. I never stopped loving you. My fingers curled around the ceramic mug. The heat seeped into my skin, but it didn't soften me. You loved the version of me that didn't ask questions, that didn't check your phone, that let you be the smartest guy in the room because I didn't feel like competing. Silence. Then he whispered, I still think we're in game. I almost laughed. You think this is a movie? No. He stopped. I think this whole thing spiraled because I panicked. You were pulling away. It made me feel seen. And now, I said, voice like ice. Now that we've seen you, you want to start fresh? I want to fix it, he said. With you. That's when I did something I didn't plan. I reached into my bag and pulled out the puzzle, the framed one. The one with his lies spelled out in black and white. I slid it across the table. Here's your closure. He looked down. His face drained again. I could see his brain racing, trying to figure out if there was a version of this conversation he could still win. Then my phone buzzed. I didn't even have to look. I already knew who it was. Flashback. The night before. Em and I had one last drink at her place. Something cheap, fizzy, overly sweet. You really gonna meet him? She asked. Yeah, but not for him. For you. I nodded. For the part of me that would have said yes 3 months ago. She clinked her glass to mine. Tell her thanks for hanging in there. But we've got better puzzles now. Back at the cafe, I stood up. Daniel's eyes followed me like a puppy left at a train station. So that's it? He asked. You're just gonna walk away? I smiled, not the kind that says I'm fine, but the kind that says you're done. I'm not walking, I said. I'm solving. You? You're the clue no one asked for. I left him there. Alone. With his framed failure and the wreckage of his ego. That night, Em posted a photo. She was on a rooftop, holding up a crossword puzzle with the answer to one clue bolded in black marker. Clue. 5-letter word for freedom. Answer. Alone. Her caption? Finally got it right. The last time I saw Daniel, he was still trying to rewrite the story mid-sentence. He texted me 3 days later. Said he'd been doing the work, journaling, seeing a therapist. Attached a screenshot of a Notes app paragraph that started with, "You didn't deserve that," and ended with, "I hope we can heal, even if not together." I didn't respond. I didn't even read the whole thing. Em and I had already created a new ritual, sending each other our Wordle scores each morning, then roasting them brutally. Em, for tries? You good, or just emotionally blocked? Me, still faster than your ex's climax. We weren't best friends, exactly. But there was a strange kind of loyalty that forms when you've both dated the same liar and lived to meme about it. On what would have been mine and Daniel's 2-year anniversary, she and I booked a wine tasting out of town. Somewhere with no cell service, no crossword apps, no surprise, let's talk run-ins. Just grape-stained teeth and ugly laughter under fairy lights. That's where we made the pact. No more men who speak in riddles, Em said, raising her glass. Only the ones who say what they mean. And spell it correctly, I added. We didn't toast to freedom. We toasted to precision. Daniel didn't matter anymore. Not really. He'd become a punchline in our private group chat, a cautionary tale we could tell ourselves when the old patterns crept back in. And then, 1 week later, I got a letter. Not an email. Not a DM. A real envelope, with my name scribbled in his handwriting like he was submitting an apology to a priest. I didn't open it right away. I just stared at it. Part of me wanted to shred it without reading. Another part wanted to burn it. But the version of me that used to believe his words needed to hear them one last time. Inside was a crossword puzzle. Handwritten. Sloppy. Clumsy. Every clue was about us. Our inside jokes. Our old dates. Our special words. The final clue was underlined. Clue. 8-letter word for what I ruined. I filled it in automatically. Answer. Everything. I didn't cry. I didn't text him. I folded the puzzle back up, walked outside, and dropped it into the mailbox next to my building. Not to send. Just to let it go. Let someone else find it. Solve it. Or toss it. It wasn't mine anymore. That evening, Em texted me a picture. She was at a poetry night, open mic. On the blackboard behind the mic stand, someone had written a prompt. Describe your ex in 1 word. She sent me her response in all caps. Arterless. I laughed for 5 solid minutes. The next morning, I opened the NYT Mini. Clue. Freedom from false love. 5 letters. I typed, truth,